if you're on any of the dating apps, then you're going to be familiar with swiping left or swiping right. But how would you feel about Tinder's new feature, which enables your family and your friends to suggest who you should pick as your potential new partner?
Richard's not sure about this.
It's a terrible idea.
Called the Matchmaker mode. It gives your loved ones 24 hours to access to your profile. It asks if you would like to start a matchmaker session, and then friends and family can scroll through, suggest likes and give their opinions. The user can then review the recommendations and choose to accept or reject. Is this too much meddling? Well, teacher Bobby Seagull thinks it's a brilliant idea. He appeared on the Netflix dating series Indian Matchmaking, where his parents helped him try to find a wife. And TV presenter Zizi Mills says she doesn't need a family to play Cupid. And frankly, it's none of their business.
Yeah, I'm with you, Zizi.
Oh, you don't like that at all. Richard agrees with you.
No.
What's so wrong with your friends and family chipping in then?
I think it's too early to get so many cooks involved in the kitchen. I don't need your opinion. And also, what happens is everyone is bringing their own experience in. So if you've had a bad experience with somebody that looks like this or worked in this industry, now you're going to bring that to me. Also, it's like, if we're all a part of the same friendship circle, right? What about if my friend is sending all the good options to the other friend? Do you understand what I mean?
Like, you could be nicking the good stuff.
This is what I'm saying. All of these, I don't need all of these inputs in. It's just not for me.
And also, if it's your parents, inevitably they're going to be wanting to pick the person they think's good, right for good for you.
That's what I mean.
You know, suitable.
And
you
what
might
are you
not want somebody
basing it off?
suitable.
You're literally basing off what the person looks like. You've had no conversation with them. Like back in the old days, yeah, somebody might recommend you someone, but that was based off the fact that they might have spoken to that person or they worked with that person, so they knew their character. I don't know why you've picked this person for me.
Bobby?
Well, so from my experience in Indian Matchmaking, the Netflix show, my first date, interestingly, was I turned up thinking I'd be bad boy Bobby wearing a bomber jacket and a hoodie, and it was with the parents as well. Bit of a shock, but actually, sometimes when you meet people's parents and you talk to them, you get a sense of what you want and what you don't. And from my experience, I actually now, when I'm on dating apps, I will genuinely send screenshots to my mum and dad and say, what do you reckon? What do you think? And to be honest, sometimes they go, no, she looks like she's a Millwall fan, not for us. But I have the ultimate say. But I think the real world, we need to consult other people. And, of course, we make the decision. Again, we have a little, monologue in our head going, oh, they look really cool. Oh, no, they live too far away. Oh, no, they're really short. But our mum and dad can also, give us a perspective and go, actually, here's what you think, or we think, and then we have to decide.
Yeah, but, Bobby, you just said you look at it first, then you send it on. So, but it's the other way around. And also, I think we're looking at it from our side. I do not want 15 people looking at my profile. Because if I can do it, then that means they can do it as well. So I just think somebody else looking at my profile, your mum and your dad, I don't want your mum and your dad looking at me. I don't really care what they think about me.
I also think they're going to make snap judgments which aren't going to be borne out by reality. For example, I've been married for well over 30 years. Yeah? I'm a stepfather. I've got two fantastic stepsons. But if back in the day, when Judy and I were thinking about getting together, and I'd gone to my family and my network of friends, they would have said, well, she's a mother of two 7-year-old children. You don't want to take on two children, do you?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, and they would have actually put the kibosh, if I followed their advice, on what's turned out to be a very happy, successful
But on the flip side, there might have been someone else that's had a friend that's met someone that has other kids and says, actually, that person might be a good match. So I think that's why it's up to 15 people. It's not just one or two. It's like friends, family,
so
extended.
Many people.
So your parents, have they been helpful?
Yeah. So initially, when I first thought, oh, I'm going to go on a dating show, my parents are going to be involved, it sounds like a disaster. But actually, over time, over the last year, 18 months, I realised that they give me their input and adds to my sort of thought process. So actually, it's additive rather than negative for me.
I think there's a time to bring in people. And also, maybe after the third date, after the fourth date, maybe after you actually... I think sometimes also getting them involved emotionally, too emotionally invested. I've gone on the first date, they're asking me, how did it go?
Right.
And then it didn't go well. So now I have to tell my friends that it didn't go well. Well, maybe being single, it's a jungle. So I'm getting let down a lot. So imagine telling every other week, yeah, that didn't work out. Sometimes you just want to keep it to yourself and take the L and move on. I don't need everyone knowing that this is another failed situation.
But families can help. I think families can help reduce the shock of the L. Like, I had an amazing first date last week, hopefully date 2 coming up. But mum and dad were like, oh, go and meet her, she looks really cool. And they know that previously I've been really excited about first dates. And when I fall off, they're there to pick me up. So I think... friends and family can support you.
Have you ever had a situation, Zizi, where, afterwards, your friends have said, after you dated somebody and it's maybe not gone right, we could have told you that. We didn't like him in the first place. And you kind of thought to yourself, oh, maybe I should have asked.
See, I'm really headstrong. So even if you tell me, I have to experience it for myself. Because again, you're just going off whatever you think. You don't know the person, you don't know our connection, you don't know how he treats me, how I feel about him, what it's like being alone with him. So let me run this course. I will ask for advice, and if I want to take on your advice, I do, and if I don't, then, you know.
I also think there's quite a strong embarrassment factor at play here. I mean, for example, supposing you're in your 50s or so, and you've got grown-up kids, grown-up children, and you ask them as well, I think they're going to find it difficult to give love advice to a parent.
And everyone has different values as well. Like, your friendship circle, you probably have similar values, but what means a lot to me might not mean a lot to you. So there's all this discussion now about dates and all these things, first dates, what's a good, like, what you think is a good first date might not be what I think is a good first date. So there's too many conflicting things.
You're not being put off, though, are you,
No,
Bobby?
not at all. I say bring back, like, the sort of Jane Austen matriarchal type figure. Imagine what Mrs. Bennett would think of dating apps. Meeting people without introductions or chaperones. I'd say bring back introduced.
That's wonderful. That's a great...
OK, well, we're going to chaperone you to Christine now.